Hi, it's Lauren with LaurenTeachesFlute.com and welcome to today's tutorial. So in today's video I wanted to address how to hold the flute. So I have settled into my favorite hand position that I've learned. I think, I've been playing the flute for about 20 years and I've probably learned about 4 different hand positions. None of them are right or wrong or the best way or whatever. Each hand position has its pros and cons, and if you study with a lot of different flutists, you'll probably find that not every one of them is holding the flute the same way, and that's totally okay. It's not one hand position that's going to fit everybody, but I'm going to share with you the hand position that I use today that makes the most sense to me, that I really like, and it's really working for me, and I can just play things really fast and no pain and things like that. So let's get into it. So before anything, we're going to talk about the fingers. So we have like little names for the fingers, like on piano it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, for flute, we say the thumb is the thumb. The index finger is 1, middle finger is 2, ring finger is 3, and then the pinky is 4, or you could just say the pinky. I've heard both. So, and then the left hand is the same thing. So it's 1, 2, 3, pinky, thumb. So that's how we kind of label the fingers. And then now we are going to talk about how to place the fingers on the flute. So first things first, I think it's a safe bet to grip the flute by the barrel with your left hand and place the base of the foot joint on your lap so it's nice and stable. And then we'll start with the right hand, which will be facing out, so the flute's going to be held up like this. The right hand's going to be like out this way, so not like this, but like this, behind the flute. And I'm in a close-up in the camera so you can see where I place my fingers. So basically, you'll still have the base of the foot joint in your lap, but this is just so I can close up. Basically, I'm going to put my right pinky on this lever key right here, then the third finger here, second finger here, and first finger here. And then the thumb is going to be, I like to put it just under the first finger here. Some people do it in the center like this, in between these two. So whatever feels the most comfortable for you, anywhere in that range, as long as it's not over here or over here, as I see some new students doing. And then the other thing that you really want to make sure about your thumb is that it's not out here or like out here. That really creates a lot of tension for the fingers on top. Like, look how my fingers are moving. It just doesn't look too efficient. So keep your thumb back. Keep your thumb back, not protruding, past the tube, but keep it back like this. So I've been taught to also, curve my thumb and play on the side of my thumb like this. So you can experiment with that and see how it feels for you. A lot of people like to do that because their hand is more open like this. But I've also, learned the hand position where you kind of put the tube of the flute more on the pad of the thumb. So, and this I actually learned from Amy Porter. So I really like this hand position a lot, and I can practice for hours, and it's very relaxed, and the fingers up here are really relaxed. I've never gotten any problems from this. And then Jeffrey Gilbert actually taught to, point the thumb up like this. So that's Jeffrey Gilbert kind of style hand position. And then notice that my fingers are not curved like this, but they are nice and relaxed. So I like my hand really relaxed like so, and keeping the fingers, on the the fleshy part of the fingers, the pads of the fingers on the center of the keys, like that. So that's my right hand position, and for now, the balance points, we're going to talk about the thumb and just put the pinky down, because we're going to play a B. So for a B, the right hand position needs the thumb in the correct spot and the pinky lever key down. All right, so now just push these keys down slightly and put the base of the foot joint on your lap just so it's stable. And what you can do is you can even rest the head joint on your left shoulder. And then we're going to talk about the left hand position. All right, so for the left hand position, you're going to bring your left arm in front of the flutes. And it's going to come this way. So you're going to put your left pinky on this lever key, and then finger 3 will go here, 2 here, and then skip this key, and that's where 1 goes. And then your thumb is going to be right here on this single thumb to start, because we're learning B today. So this is what I call double thumb, because you're pushing 2 keys down, and this is what I call single thumb. And then the next thing is to support the flute. So far we have 2 points of balance. We have the pinky, and then we have the thumb. And the third point of balance is right here on this joint of your finger. So this is a different angle. This is where I'm resting the tube of my flute on my left hand, and I even put a sticker on my hand to show you exactly where I'm resting the flute. So I'm resting it here, probably in between this key and this key. And then, so I'm skipping the first key, my index finger goes on the second key, skip this key, and then the second finger here, third finger here, pinky right here, and then the thumb here. Another thing I want to mention is that I'm not straightening my wrist. You might be able to do that actually, but I have really small hands, so a slight bend in the wrist, and that way my pinky can reach the lever key no problem at all. And notice that I do prefer to play on the pads of the fingers. Notice if you curl the fingers too much, how much more tense that feels and how much more relaxed this feels. And of course, just remember to keep the fingers close to the keys. And to play a B, you will put your first finger down and then the thumb down on the single thumb key. And that's what your left hand needs to do to play a B. So it's 1 thumb. These fingers are not pushed down, but they are close to the keys, and then the thumb is supporting, and then the pinky, and that is a B. All right, so once you got all that figured out, you have your 3 support points, this finger, and then your thumb and your pinky, and you have the 1 thumb and pinky down, and your thumb's holding it up, and it's not coming forward. You can play a B. Just like that. And then one more thing I want to mention is that when you hold the flute up, you bring it to you, so make sure you're not doing anything crazy, but you're sitting up nice and tall, and you bring the flute to your chin, and then you play. Another thing is that you want to make sure that you don't bring your flute back like this. It might look better, and I think some band directors recommend that you do that, but I think that's mainly because of the way it looks. But it creates a lot of tension on this right shoulder. So it feels a whole lot more natural if you bring the flutes kind of in front of you and turn your head to your left slightly. And that just feels like a whole lot more efficient and a whole lot less tension, and will lead to less pain problems down the line. If you hook your flute all the way back here like this, that can create pain, and that's just not a good habit. So if your band director's making you do this, at least when you go home, remember to play like this. It's just more, it's just a healthier posture, basically. So yeah, so remember that. Another thing I want to mention is to make sure that when you bring your flute to you, that you're not rolling the keys back, but your keys are parallel to the ceiling assuming your flute is aligned properly. And if you need a refresher on that, I do have a video, and I'll link it up here, so you can check that out. So yes, make sure the flute is aligned and the keys are parallel to the ceiling. And if you're too rolled in, it's not going to make a sound. If you're too rolled out, it's going to sound really shrill. So just kind of, you can even play with rolling in and out and find that sweet spot where you sound amazing and it's very little effort. That's probably where you need to be. And the keys are probably going to be parallel to the ceiling when you are producing that sound. So make sure that's happening. Also, another thing is to make sure there's perpendicular. The flute is perpendicular, and that you're not doing this or this, but it's perpendicular. So that's how to hold the flute. Some troubleshooting things. Again, check your right thumb every 5 minutes. Make sure it's in a healthy place so that these fingers can just float over these keys and they don't feel weird. Because if your thumb's out of whack, these fingers are going to start to feel really cramped. And then, make sure your pinky isn't down here or up here when you're not touching those keys, but they're nice and healthy. Your fingers needn't be curved so much. That creates too much tension. Play on the fleshy parts of your fingers. And yeah, and then another thing a lot of people do when they begin is they do this to hold their flute up. But remember, this is your fourth point of balance. So you have 1, 2, the thumb is 3, and the pinky is 4. So you have 4 points of balance, and you'll learn to trust it and get used to it. And the flute will start to feel more stable, more natural in your hands the more you hold it properly. So anyway, I think that covers it just about. So please give this video a thumbs up if you like these tutorial videos and want to see more. Comment below if you have any questions or any requests for any future tutorial videos, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. So that concludes the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.